Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Do we need to excuse Brad before the open meetings or open meetings first? The open meetings are posted there on the board. And can I have a motion to excuse Brad from tonight's meeting?
Motion to excuse Brad.
Second.
Kirkman and Kuhn.
Yeah, Kirkman, I forget.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sutcliffe,
Yes.
Conklin.
Yes. Are there any comments by the public? Okay. Please state your name and everything and.
Yep. Chris Hart, Superintendent of Schools at Potter Dix, here tonight to speak on behalf of the Bookmobile. I would be in support of the purchase of a new Bookmobile by the Public Library here in Sydney. Our students benefit greatly from the Bookmobile. I can tell you actually when it comes out and it pulls up to the building, we've got 3 classrooms along that side of the building, and the kids get super excited about seeing the Bookmobile pull up, and they're very happy to see it coming. It really is anticipated very favorably in our school system, both at the Potter site and at the Dix site, where Dix site's where our elementary school is, and our Potter site's where our preschool and middle school are located. So I wanted to come tonight and speak in favor of that, and encourage the council to consider that purchase, and just let you know how much it would mean to our school district to have that service continue to our schools.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
My
Should we-
name's Andrea
Is this
Harrod,
about the
Bookmobile.
should we wait till the
Agenda item.
agenda item to do this, or?
You can do it either way.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead then.
Good to go? Okay. My name's Andrea Harrod. I'm the administrator of Sloan Estates, the assisted living under SRMC. Just a little bit about us. We have 28 apartments at our facility, and we currently have 28 residents. These residents are people from Sydney, surrounding areas. Maybe you have relatives there, maybe an old neighbor or a teacher. These residents have been in this area for a long time and continue to live here because they love Sydney and what it has to offer. Stop by sometime if you're ever out and about, and we could give you a quick tour and show you around. Generally, when people need to come to assisted living, it's because they need to or they want to. Most people need to consider assisted living because they might need assistance with daily needs like bathing or dressing, or help with medications or transportation. But most people want to come to assisted living to be involved in their community, continue an active lifestyle, remain as independent as possible, and have access to social interactions. Did you know that social interaction for people living in an assisted living is vital to their overall health? Studies show that social activities can help grow feelings of belonging, improve self-esteem, provide a sense of purpose, help lower the risk of certain diseases, and even help heal injuries faster. The Bookmobile is a big part of our activities schedule. The reason I feel it's important is that it is one way the residents can remain involved in the community, establishing relationships with people outside of the facility, growing their confidence, and maintaining their independence. We get excited about the Bookmobile days, and we miss it when it's unable to come. It offers us a feeling of inclusion and promotes our love of reading. It would greatly affect the residents of Sloan Estates if we lost this community service. So in conclusion, I ask that you keep the residents at Sloan Estates in mind as you navigate the conversation and decisions about the library's Bookmobile. By keeping it, you would be helping to continue enriching the residents' lives, becoming a vital part in their overall well-being. We would be forever grateful. We hope you see how important it is to us and our health, so please keep the Bookmobile active. Thank you.
Thank you. one of these.
Hi, I'm Diane Shader. I'm one of the residents at Sloan's. And the reason the bookmobile is really important to me is I have macular degeneration, so I'm seeing you kind of. And we get the opportunity to have large print books delivered there. And I'm able to read a book rather than it's on an iPad or something where you can enlarge it. I enjoy turning the pages of a book. It's very important to me that you keep that. I think it's a very good service that Sydney offers, and I really appreciate it, so consider it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Shirley Rogers, and I also am a Sloan's assisted living resident. And to me, the bookmobile is a great resource for not just the areas close, but all of Cheyenne County. And we appreciate everything that Heather does for us because she brings us books that we can read and enjoy. And it's wonderful to see that bookmobile pull up. It really is. And it would be, to me, it would be beneficial for them to get a new bus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Terry Brostrom, and I work at Sydney Regional Medical Center Long-Term Care. And I've been asked to say how much our residents appreciate Ditto. I mean, it's very much quality of life. And if they lost the ability to have those books, then our ability to meet their needs would decrease significantly in that area. Some of the residents don't do well with electronics, either mentally or physically, and so having the book that they're used to is very important too. And so SRMC Long-Term Care really wants to encourage, I'm understanding, the purchase of a new bookmobile. It really does affect our residents positively.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it? Okay. On to number 4, the use of city softball fields for independent.
Number 3.
Sorry, approval of council minutes for March 25th. I need a
I'll motion.
Kirkman,
Second.
Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe.
Coons,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Longbard,
Yes.
Kirkman.
Yes.
Okay, on to number 4, use of city softball fields for independent teams. Kendall Windholtz.
My name is Kendall Winholtz, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I'm here to respectfully request permission for a youth softball program to use the city softball fields and ask for clear, consistent communication from the community center regarding the process for reserving and accessing these facilities, along with having access to a designated field for games and access to the lights. Our goal is to provide a safe, organized, and positive environment for the girls in our community to play, learn, and grow through sports. To do that effectively, we need fair and transparent access to the fields, something that should be a shared resource for the benefit of all local programs. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions or provide further information.
What ages are you looking at to target, I guess?
This would be 9 years old.
Can you stay at the podium, please?
Absolutely, I'm sorry. 9 years old through 15 years old.
15, okay,
It would be 2 teams.
okay.
Is it slow pitch, fast pitch?
Fast pitch
Fast
girls.
pitch.
Yes.
So is the issue with scheduling then?
Yes, so
Okay.
actually I coached through the community center over the last
Oh,
5
okay.
years, and we've decided to create our own club team. Basically because I have done a lot of this work, and our parents and our girls are ready to move on to the next step, and something that the community center just doesn't necessarily offer us, because we'd like to do fundraisers and we'd like to go travel and do tournaments and all kinds of things. And so we just ask that we be considered in the scheduling, because we will have home games,
Yeah.
and we just like that to be clear and consistent communication.
Okay. David, who's responsible for scheduling? Yeah.
Right now, as I said, we're under agreement with Community Center to manage all that. So we do have a meeting with them next week between, I believe, the mayor and, is it Rob?
Me, yeah.
So I think that's a good time for us to probably talk about this and how they want to manage that, or how we want them to manage that. But, I mean, at this point, you can't say yes or no, because we're under an agreement with somebody else to do that. But that can all be discussed next week, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Or do we vote on it, I guess?
No.
Or No? Okay.
Can't. That's not an action item.
Number 5, Sand Hills Energy Solar Update. Kyle.
Hello all. My name is Kyle Gorsuch. I'm the Director of Operations and Maintenance for Sandhills Energy. We're the owner of the solar site that is north of town there on East Elm. And it has been a process to get here. And I want to say thank you to all your guys' patience throughout this whole entire process. This has all started well before my time with Sandhills, and just kind of over the past year, moving back home and going through the process. I wanted to come in tonight and just kind of give you guys a very wide view of a project update. As we are getting closer to being finalized and complete out there. Currently, right now, we are waiting on our state electrical inspection that happened today through the state of Nebraska. And I just got a phone with our construction company to get information on that. They did not answer the phone. So waiting on a little bit additional information on that, but should have the state electrical inspection sticker hopefully today, tomorrow, into next week. And then just kind of talk through, what kind of comes next. At this point, what we've done in the community is we've done volunteer fire department trainings, EMS trainings on site, introducing them to additional risks that come with PV issues or additional PV fires if it were to happen. And that was very well received from your guys' fire department. So, I thank them as much as possible. They open mind and, are ready to help and assist if we ever do have any issues out there. Another thing, our O&M team is fully staffed up in Sydney. So our O&M team is going to be based out of Sydney as we operate the 15 different sites between Nebraska, Iowa, and Colorado. We're all based out of Sydney. So right now we have 3 full-time technicians, including myself. And so everybody's going to be here. And we are just getting into a long-term lease with the building south of town. I believe Dickey's Auction used to have it. So that's where we're going to be having our long-standing operation team. It has us, the warehouse space available out there is perfect for us. We've been utilizing Adams a lot for any kind of storage, material handling, anything like that, trucking to different sites. I think today they were actually sending some modules for us over to Yuma, Colorado. So they've been very, very helpful in all of that. And very cooperative as well. We've been working with Tom and the city electrical team on their portion of the line build, and that switch that they need to get installed there, that has all been completed and done. The project right now is 100% finished. We are just waiting on energization and verifications. So once we get the electrical inspection taken care of, we are going to energize in what we'd call a soft energization, where we energize the site, we're verifying test points, not producing power at that point. And we have to go through verifications with not just us, MEAN also, and WAPA as well, just to verify that they're getting the real-time data that they need. And then at that point, we would start getting into the process actually producing power at the facility. basically kind of the next steps is, one, we're waiting on that electrical inspection. Once that gets hammered out, our team's going to go and finish up a punch list on anything over there, and then verify our tracker controls as well. So those are the next couple things here in the next couple weeks. I would be, kind of pushing, given everything and, the electrical department is ready, to be able to hopefully energize that towards the end of next week is what we're hoping, and then just start with some of that soft energization without actually producing power. And then we would work with David to get a permission to operate letter saying, hey, yep, this has passed all the electrical inspections needed. And then at that point, we would start generating, and, billing would actually come after that. So just kind of wanted to, let you guys know, hey, we are here in town. Our 3 technicians, including myself, we are here, and very, very excited. Our guys are chomping at the bit to get these sites online and operational. We have 3 other sites that are already operational in the state of Nebraska today. So, very, very happy with how our EPC team and the construction has went through all the facilities, and Sydney's no different. It looks really, really good. If you guys haven't got a chance to drive by it, take a look at it. I'm born and raised in Western Nebraska. I grew up in Potter, and, my whole point for these projects, and specifically this one, we want this project to be something that the community can be proud of. All the power is being sold back to you guys, and that's on us to make sure we do our best to make sure that we're being able to produce as much as we possibly can for the city of Sydney. So with that, I just wanted to say thank you. I know it's been a long road. We're excited to get it online and operational. Tom and his team has been fantastic to work with. But if you guys have any additional questions, my contact information is very easily accessible. And I know we get a lot of questions about hail, anything like that. Those are things that I definitely want to explain to people. So if anybody does have any additional questions regarding that and how we kind of mitigate those issues, I can kind of answer that as well.
Okay. Any questions?
I don't have any.
Thank you.
Again, thank you guys so much. And like I said, we're chomping at the bit to get it operational here. And if you guys haven't got a chance to drive by the site, definitely do. It looks really, really good. And once the reseeding is done, it'll even look better. So much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming, Kyle.
Number 6, consideration of bookmobile replacement, table from last meeting. David Scott.
I guess for those who weren't here, I'll do a really quick overview. We went over most of this last week, but I'll go over a little bit more. And then I did have answers to some of your questions that you had asked last time. The city has owned and operated the Bookmobile for many years. Through the Bookmobile, the city library can provide vital library services and programs to residents within the city borders, as well as several county communities that might not otherwise be able to receive these important services. And I believe we went a little bit over the condition of the current Bookmobile.
David, can you
In
speak
fact,
up just a little bit?
What's that?
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear you.
Are you not catching me? I'm sorry. Well, we can turn on the speakers if you, I guess, or so, I don't know. Sorry, I've had a sinus infection, so it's hard for me to, I'll go as loud as I can, all right, without cracking up on you here. The current Bookmobile is over 30 years old, has 98,832 miles, has logged 3,555 hours. Repair parts are expensive and hard to find. In the last year alone, we've incurred repair bills, one of 6,300 something, one of 17,491, among others. Those are just a couple of the large ones that stick out in my mind, to fix things like radiator, injectors, exhaust hose, headers, rear main steel, fan clutch. This goes on and on and on. In fact, it's just since we met 2 weeks ago, I think we've had another one that's around, I believe, $900 to $1,000, if I'm not right, that rolled in. So they've got some more leaky gaskets, and they're not really sure where it's coming from. It could be coming from the front, but they're not sure yet. So we're still trying to fix that. The Bookmobile serves approximately 250 patrons on an average week all throughout the county at regular stops in following locations. Some of them you heard from tonight: Central School District, Kids Corner, the Community Center, Office of Human Development, SRMC Extended Care, Senior Social Hour, Western Heritage, Sioux and Cheyenne Villa, Grace Gardens, Sloan Estates, Gurley, Dalton, Creek Valley Elementary, Creek Valley High, Creek Valley in Dual County, and Lodge Pole, Potter Dix Early Learning Facility, and then also some stops in Kimball County. And then we went over a little bit of the finances last time too. Right now we do have some grant funding and some fundraising that they've done, as well as grants that they've been awarded. So those total about 130 grand right now. Of course, the one that we were looking at least last time, if it's still there, I think it might be. I haven't checked today, but was an average cost of about 180. So that leaves us, and then we also have about 10 grand that we can use in abandoned vehicles that we've kind of been sitting on. So it leaves us with about a $46,000 deficit is what it leaves us with. And I know last time I was hesitant a little bit to mention ACE funds because I know we wanted to use some of those for the North Side Park. Of course, lo and behold, now we have that second grant that almost all but covers our North Side Park. So that's also an option now that I was a little hesitant to mention before that might be available to you as well. We still have quite a bit in our ACE funds, and in fact, we just got some more, I think, at the last meeting too. So some of the, and I've also applied through, it's a little short notice to go through a long granting process, and some of them are months before they're able to be, reviewed. So I did reach out to some foundations and trusts in the area and have applied through those, one being the Buckley Trust, the other one being the Peter Hewitt Foundation. And I'll hear from Buckley Trust next week. So that might be some more funding that we would not have to spend if that comes through with anything. I don't know that it will, but we'll see what my grant writing skills are, I guess. So I did reach out to both of those. And then some of the questions that were asked last time, I think one was a trailer that you could pull behind a truck rather than doing an all-encompassing vehicle. And I did reach out to Tom Riemann the next day from that Mobile Healthcare Inc. that I've been talking to that builds these things. And he told me he had never done one in a trailer, and he had reasons for that. And then he also got me in touch, and somebody, God, I wish I could remember the guy's name. He called me from another affiliate of Tom's, and he had not done one either in that route. And they both were very similar reasons why. One being that they feel that they're a little bit more accident prone because they can jackknife and they're hard to get into places and people hit things with them. And a lot of times the people that drive them aren't, over the road. People that drive pull a lot of gigantic trailers. So sometimes those are issues. And then also they talked about how the shelving sometimes wears out a little bit quicker because they sway more than what a one. But those are the couple things they mentioned. They did, however, say it is cheaper. It could save you 40, 50 grand a year or to build it if you did it that way. So I don't want to only say the bad without the good. It was both. He said it could save you that much, but they've never done one because they've never really recommended that communities do that for those other reasons. We also had some questions about whether the city could get tablets, I believe, and Kendra and I did look into that. It is a possibility. It is something we could do. It does open the door for some liability and some other things that we would probably have to look into, and maybe where would you set the age limit or the income limit? Are you discriminating? Are you not? Kendra and I still have to sort through some of those things that might pop up if we were to do that route. And then also it would change our relationship that we have with the county right now because they are very generously fund a lot of this program. In fact, all of it, I would think, through what they give us. And so that might be another party we would want to involve in a conversation like that. So, because it would definitely change our budget next year and how we move forward in that. But those were the things that were talked about. And so I wanted to at least let you know we did look into them. And so I guess with that being said, that's my quick recap of where we were from last weekend and where we are now.
I appreciate you looking in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, that's
good.
I just did a quick investigation to see if somebody local here could do it, and they just weren't able to right now. So I kind of struck out there.
Yeah, I checked with I think you probably Adam, and that's who I checked with too. And they.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think none of us are against the book bill. We're just trying to find extra funding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has anybody reached out to the other communities, to see if they would pitch in?
I did not reach out to the communities because I don't know what they're going to be a long ways from their budget cycles, and so I did not reach out to them knowing that they wouldn't probably be able to give us an answer until their budget season comes due again. In fact, that's what I did talk to a couple, and that's what the answer that I got. But I did talk to county commissioners, but I didn't ask to get on their agenda because the response was what I'd kind of expected. That they are really, really generous now in how they support the program. And so I didn't want to push it. I could have, and I think I just thought maybe that was maybe not the right thing to do.
No,
but-
I really appreciated all the letters. So I just kind of, just.
I
kept
was
scrolling
overwhelmed
through.
a little by that.
There's an overwhelming amount
Yeah.
of support for the bookmobile, which is amazing, right? Like, I think we need to go to a bookmobile, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's just the question is, can we go forward and just, get this thing done here today? Do we wait for some additional funding, for additional meetings? What do you think we should do here?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Do we wait till next
I mean,
meeting? here for
if
Buckley?
I really think this is needed, I really do, and I think if you do move forward, and it's your decision, but I would suggest that you just put a cap on it of some sort, like say we authorize moving forward with a used bookmobile, and use this grant and fundraising money and ACE money not to exceed X amount, like of our ACE fund, not to exceed. So that way it doesn't leave it open where, well, the price went up, no, that's it. That's what you're going to do, and it's not going to be anything more than that. That would be, if you're going to move forward, that'd probably be the best way to do that and not leave an open amount out there, and
Right.
just say that we're going to use what we have now in grant funding and not to exceed X amount of ACE money. That's,
Well, you had a dollar figure already kind of figured out.
Yeah,
I mean,
around
if we could just
47,000.
go with that number and just be like, this is the cap. I think what was the total after the wrap and everything?
it was around 47,000 we were short, so I mean,
Yeah.
you could do not to exceed that, and then if we get extra, then we wouldn't even spend it, because
Sure.
I still won't find out until next week on those, but you can't ask for a whole lot from those. Like 10,000 is what I asked from them. So they told me not to ask for much more than that. So,
I guess I'll just clarify my comments from last time is that I certainly think we need a bookmobile. I'm not against the bookmobile. I think if the picture of what we're buying in here for $175,000, I think we're getting ripped off. If you look at that, it looks like a used UPS truck with some, well, this UPS trucks even have shelves on them. That's where my concern came from. Not that it's not needed by the community or wanted by the community. When you look at that, if you were sitting on a car lot and you went in and you said, would you pay $175,000 for that? You'd say, heck no. So that's my only concern. I don't know if we've got any other options. I guess we'll,
this is the best one we could find when
Okay.
us and the library staff and the board did our research. This
All
was
right.
the most reasonable one we could come up with.
So, I mean, I guess I would suggest that we motion to set a limit at 47,000 additional, right?
Okay.
That would be my suggestion, but do you have any other way you would want to go?
No?
Okay.
so the 47,000 will then get offset by if you get any money from Buckley Trust or,
The most we would spend out of our ACE money is $47,000.
Okay.
Nothing more would, and hopefully less, if the others come through.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
I would be fine with that.
Okay. Just need somebody to do the thing. Okay, I will motion
I was gonna say, do I have a
to
motion?
set the limit at the exact dollar amount we just talked about, 47, whatever, right? I guess we got to get specific if we're making a motion, right? What was the dollar amount again?
47,000 out of ACE, your ACE funds.
47,000 what?
47,000 out of your ACE funds. I would, just so that people are clear,
Okay,
this is
40
money that we received.
47,000, okay.
so we're not using
A
the
Okay,
used vehicle, whatever you said was
Yeah,
in
we'll
there?
use that too.
Oh, the used car
Yeah, we
or
use
the
that too.
auction car?
So is the motion going to be to make up the difference for the $47,000?
Make up the
Right.
difference up to 47,000.
Up
yeah,
to.
so a motion to make up the difference at the $47,000, right? Does that work for everybody? Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Cool.
For up to $40,000.
Up to
47,000 in reserves, yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Kirkman
We gotta go get more money.
and Coons.
Okay, so Kirkman made the motion.
Made the motion.
That I did. Yeah.
Coons second.
Okay, Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonneberg?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Revise LB 840, Randy.
Council, Brandy Stone, Economic Development. Got a change for you coming down for LB 40 to strike out a portion that would limit eligible businesses. So a little bit of the past for LB 840. LB 840 Economic Development Plan for Sydney must be approved by the voters every 10 years. It was initially approved in 1997 and subsequently revised and voter approved in 2007 and 2017. A special election was held in 2018 to acquire voter approval to allow Sydney's economic development to use grant funds for business recruitment and job creation incentives. Voters approved the 2018 revisions. The Sydney Economic Development Plan revised will go back to voters in 2028. So what we're looking at here, the Nebraska legislature has passed Legislative Bill 289, which amends the Local Option Municipal Economic Development Act, LB 840. This amendment expands the definition of qualifying businesses to include large retail chains, making them eligible for LB 840 funding support. So the exact portion that we'll be striking from our current LB 840 plan is on page 5 of our current plan. It reads, except that no more than 40% of the total revenue can be generated from the retail trade as generated pursuant to the Local Option Municipal Economic Development Act for an economic development program in any 12-month period, and no more than 20% of the total revenue generated pursuant to the act for an economic development program in any 5-year period, commencing from the date of municipal approval of an economic development program, shall be used by the city for or devoted to the use of retail trade businesses. That will be getting nixed out.
Taken out.
This means that more funding can be used for retail businesses. The change broadens eligibility for businesses seeking economic development funds. It removes previous restrictions on how much revenue can be used for retail sector development for Sydney. I'm recommending that you approve it since it was sent down from states.
So, yeah, I guess my question is, has this been a limitation in the past? Like, has there been people that, came forward looking for funding, you weren't able to do it because you couldn't go over this? Maybe it's a question for David, I don't know.
I've had it happen.
You had it happen?
But since I've been here, no. It could very well change in the
Yeah.
upcoming future.
Okay.
I mean, the state is essentially
Telling us to do this?
telling us to strike this paragraph from our
Okay.
plans.
I give you my recommendation, but honestly, the state kind of
It's still,
demands that we're
anything that
doing.
we would ever do would still be ran through the Economic Development Advisory Committee and then the city council. before
Sure, yeah.
And we'd never be awarded anyway, but.
No, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think just making that change is good. I guess my question that I have, though, is do we have any idea of what this could amount to in additional sales tax revenue for Sydney?
That might also be a David question, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because
I mean,
I can't, there's so many possibilities, just depending on which buildings got filled and then what we would do with the
it
funding.
opens us to incentivize retail in a way that we weren't allowed to before, so it could certainly help to spur more business. I wish I could put a number on the sales tax, but I think that they just passed this and signed it, so it's hard to tell. I mean, it can't be a bad thing, I don't think.
Yeah.
It certainly opens the door for us to get help to larger businesses if they were to move into Sydney. If it passed through the advisory committee and then yourselves, of course.
Okay. Any more questions? Do I have a motion?
I would motion that we approve this change to the LB
840.
agreement. Is that worded correctly?
Yeah. Second?
Second.
Radcliffe and Coons.
Bungard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Radcliffe.
Yes.
So just real quick, Lori and I will make sure that the city website is updated with the updated plan
Oh.
before the end of the week.
Okay. Budget report, Kagan.
Good evening, Council. Kagan Carwin, Finance Director. Jumping into March's numbers, overall was a pretty good month. I think for a lot of categories into that proprietary function aspects. For property tax, DMV was down 4.5K to last year, or 4.4%. Again, this is just timing of property tax payments and how we receive them from the county. So nothing that I would imagine is too stressful there, not a big number. Sales occupation tax, this is kind of the disappointing one that we saw down 35.3K from last year, or 18.21%. We are on track from last month's payout to be on track with the current fiscal year. Obviously, with continued down numbers in the sales tax portion, could be something that we have to watch continually going forward. I was kind of hoping that we would see better numbers this month, with even if you excluded last month's payment of that $300,000, then I was kind of hoping we'd see those numbers bounce as we go back in, but we did see that down. So we'll see how with the nice weather and tracking into our summer months, how those numbers kind of creep. I think we all know globally things are changing from the tariffs and so on and so forth. So we'll see how that affects people's travel plans, all sorts of things across the board for people's household incomes. Fees for service up 42.8K from last year, or 83.65%. The biggest thing is golf course revenue here. Obviously, we've had a pretty warm winter, allowing golfers to get out a lot earlier. So definitely was a big win. I do have the yearly numbers as well over last year. So as far as March goes, so comparing March 24 to March 25, March 24 you were at $40,314.37. March of 25 you're at $76,764.03. On a yearly note, you're at $71,734.23 in 24. 25 you're at $115,522.74. So definitely an increase there with that nice warm weather. Jumping in state, federal, county, up 182.5K from last year, or 251.72%. Main cause is just we ended up getting a reimbursement, or a transfer, I guess I should say, from our grants account into the general fund for the Safe Streets reimbursements. So had a pretty good increase there to pay off some of those things we've already expensed and reimbursable. So franchise and admin fees up 917.5K. This is just a timing thing. Franchise fees is the biggest source here. Admin fees correlated with last year at this time frame, so no change there. But that franchise fee being in February moved to March this year is why we're seeing that jump. So last meeting we had the really big down. This meeting we have a really big up. In the other category, down $330.45 from last year, or negative 7.63%. This is just interest from the insurance reserve account. So that account has been depleted a little bit. So it's obviously going to have less interest to build on. When we look at the yearly numbers on the general fund revenue breakdown, we are sitting above last year's numbers in a total. So definitely feel comfortable there with seeing those numbers. Obviously, we still have 50% of our year left to go. So a lot of things can happen in this back half of our fiscal year. So we'll continue to track and watch and see how things go forward. Moving into the revenues over expenditures, general fund obviously had that big increase of on a monthly basis for $938,000. Again, franchise fees are a big portion to this big jump. As we kind of level off, we'll kind of see how with the pool opening, golf course being open, how we start to track and level off and see what things are going to happen on a forecasting level. So streets up 232,000. Electric did take a bit of a hit. Again, franchise admin fees all stacked up. I know we had a big expense come through for the generation project. We're still working on the underground conversion. So in the electric department, a lot of things are going on, a lot of things moving, a lot of good stuff happening. So water down 122,000, sewer up 21, landfill down 21. So Jumping into the yearly numbers, general fund, first time we're seeing this, on this year, on a yearly level, up 123 grand. So obviously, again, sales tax is something that we're going to watch, we'll continue to watch, and seeing how that it trends. Street department up 91,000, electric department obviously taking that hit with the generation project. I think for the most part, we've knocked out some of those big ones. I think we have about 1, maybe 2 payments left into that project to kind of finalize us out, other than some maybe odds and ends stuff to clean up, but only maybe 1 or 2 big payments left in that. So water down 132K. Obviously, the warm weather, I think people are going to start opening their sprinklers here early. I know I have. And we'll start to see that flow, obviously. Sewers down 60. We have the wastewater treatment facility upgrade going on, so that's also taking a play to the down. And then obviously purchasing a landfill truck is trending down. But for a lot of these departments, a lot of things moving, a lot of increased expenses that I would say are good to the operation and continue to keep things moving forward in a positive direction. Any questions?
Nope.
So you covered a win, you got that. Is there anything else that you're kind of surprised by at this point?
I would say sales tax was probably my biggest surprise, with us having that positive month, excluding the big refund that we got. I really would have thought that would have been baselined level to maybe up a little bit. So I was surprised to see that being down so much. Like I said, on a global level, things are changing. We had a CD come due recently that we'll reinstate here, but is one of our investments. But I went back and looked at how those interest rates are trending over the course of 3 months, and we're about a half to about a little over a half of a percentage point down on the interest rates in just the CD market. So now when we take that back to, the actual stock exchange and stuff like that, that market's totally different, which is going to affect a lot of different things for people going forward. So obviously it's, like I said, it's something to watch and continue to go forward and see how it's going to forecast out over the next few months. So.
Also on sales, I'd just like to look at the trend, year-to-date trend over time, right? And I mean, it looks like it seems like business as usual if you're just looking at that, right?
Yeah, so the biggest kicker that brought us up to our budgetary numbers was that big payout last month. So
Okay, got it.
Off the top of my head, I think it was about $336,000.
Okay.
That we would have been up as like a one-time payment or an obsolete. That could have been somebody found it in an audit. The state found it and is requiring it, that somebody hasn't paid it. I mean, there's a lot of variables to why we would have had such a large payout at that point, but the state didn't really elaborate when I called as to what category that may fall in. But it could have been any one of them. So, which is why I think we see that number sitting large today.
I guess it's hard to tell from the past, like if we had any of those surprises in our past as well, right? Like I don't know.
So we did have a surprise like that. I think it was about 2 years ago. It would have been, I think, February of 23 that happened. So I did, when I was looking at that on a yearly basis, that's why I made the call to the state to see, is this something do we have somebody that's skipping out on paying their sales tax for a little bit and gets caught, or how does that work? And, because obviously there's a lot of conversations there that I think with the state auditor's office that they talk about internally. Obviously, we don't have that knowledge because it's proprietary, but.
There has been legislation introduced to loosen that up a little bit, what they need to give to us, so.
Thank you. That was all my questions,
Thank
Kate.
Anything else? Nope. Thank you, guys.
Do I have a motion to approve the budget?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget.
Second.
Brookman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Beckman?
Yes.
Bondar?
Yes. On to the claims. Well, I looked over the claims and they were good as usual and no questions and pretty easy. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Good job.
Coombs?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bungard?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Now, city manager report.
I just had a few things. First of all, Tuesday, April 15th at 4:30 is the council training and strategic planning session. So that's at 4:30, Tuesday, April, or is it Wednesday, April 15th? Tuesday, April 15th. I have it right. Okay. Make sure I have the right day on there. And also.
Say that again,
what's
just
that? I'm
because I
sorry.
wasn't listening, say that again.
The 15th. Next week.
April 15th at 4:30.
At 4:30.
PM.
Yep,
We have a meeting that day.
yes.
4:30.
Training.
Is this that 3-hour deal?
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't take that long, but
Really? Okay,
there will be dinner though.
better get my taxes done.
And crack sealing will begin shortly after Easter. The dates we have for chip sealing, where they'll actually have to close some streets to do that, are July 14th, 15th, and 16th. I don't have the streets on me right now. I think Hank went over that in his 1 and 6 plan, though. And then, other than that, looking forward to the Spring Expo this weekend, so. That's out at the county fair, right? Fairgrounds?
Yep. Lori, you got anything? No. Kendra? Marshall? Sam?
Sir.
Kagan?
Tonight, we are sitting at 12 current viewers and a total of 24 views, so.
Tom? Brett?
Well, the only thing,
You moved.
Hi, Ed.
Brandy?
You guys, as you know, got your CCCFF grant for Northside Park. Put you at over 1.1 million. It's always both grants make it to the final paperwork, but they will when we talk. And then we have a groundbreaking on Friday with the 2 houses going up over in the ranch. And I would super appreciate if some of my council members would go. It's at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
And they'll do the ceremony, but they'll also have some blueprints there in case residents want to stop by and take a look at
3 o'clock.
other possibilities. Because while they have this floor plan going up right now, they're open to developing other floor plans in the future. If people want to come by and take a look, and I think the first like 75 slices of pizza are on me and the developer. So if people want to come by and have a slice of pizza, that's another good reason to come by.
What kind of pizza?
Well, it's that Turtle Tower pizza.
Oh.
Yeah. And so they're pretty big.
Yeah, they were at the open house for the PD too.
Where is this located? The ranch development across to the east of the hospital. West. Sorry.
Yeah.
West.
Sorry.
West.
Sorry.
I didn't think about that too.
I'm always facing south. It feels north.
Brett?
Sorry, I just got to get this on my calendar, or I'll never remember. Yeah, so the cool thing that I noticed was at the Legion Park, there's some new playground equipment. And I know that was privately funded, but I think the city did the install on that. So I thought that was pretty cool, and my kids were bragging about it. So I had to see it for myself.
Not to mention that, we did talk about it in our staff meeting today. Yeah, there were some donated pieces.
Yeah.
They look great though, yeah.
Yeah, well, good. But I think you guys did the install of
Yeah,
it, right?
Park
Yeah.
Department did all the,
Yeah.
Rob?
Nothing.
Burke?
I don't think I have anything.
I want to thank everybody for the support and talking about everything, and this is good community. And if anybody has a question, give Brad a call at 249-2321.
That's great.
And now we go into closed session, so when everybody leaves.
Did I make a motion for that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a motion when we go into closed session. For the purpose of personnel.
Personnel, yeah.
Good job. Second.
I was just gonna go.
Okay, Radcliffe?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.